Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of The Conscious Tea. Today, we're talking building your network. A network gives you access to private information, access to diverse skill sets, and power. Executives use this every day to accomplish their goals. And now, Laura and I want to tell you guys how you can foster your own network as well. So let's give Laura a call in here. And then we'll just jump right in and start talking to you guys, giving you guys our tips, letting you guys know our experience with building our network. Hello. Hi, Laura.
Hey.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias, Lizzie. Oh my gosh, we're both wearing red lipstick.
Hey. Awesome. It just started raining here in LA, so it's such a nice day.
Oh, nice.
Nice and cloudy.
Hey, Michigo, thank you so much for joining.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Trish. Hey. Hey, good morning. What's up, guys? Hey. Hey, Amy. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. We're trying to get used to this new format that we're starting with the podcast. Sharing our just resources. And today's topic is how to grow your network organically, really.
Yep, today we're talking all about building your network, your professional network, how to leverage your friendship network as well for your business, because that's always super helpful. And Laura has so much experience. So let's just dive in. We're going to go into Laura's experience, and then we're going to go back to me, and then we're going to go back to Laura. So it'll be a little bit of a back and forth. But you guys let us know if you have any questions. Drop them in the little question menu there next to the comments, or you can just leave it in the comments and we'll answer it there as well.
Yeah, so I mean, the reason why we want to talk about building your network is because a professional network is really just about building those serious relationships and building those long-lasting relationships that are eventually gonna, kind of help your career path and help you lead into different navigating ways and opportunities and doors opening for you based on your network, based off your friends, based off of your social network, and just colleagues that you grow with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and Liz also has amazing experience from working at PETA for so long. You grew so much from PETA. That's so super exciting.
Yeah, and beyond PETA, I think PETA is a good reference for me because leaving PETA ties back to this conversation. It's about building your network. And the reason why I left PETA after being in such a secure job and just having secure jobs in general, being at Casio, being at L'Oreal, like once I was done with all these places and I was like, wait, I looked around and I was like, wait, I have all these movers and shakers and people doing things. And it's like, I can actually leverage my network to be a freelance worker now. Like I don't have to work for someone else. And beyond that, it's tied back to like my own ethics because I do it for like vegan brands in particular. But like the network is what really helped like give me that boost. So I know, Laura, you have a lot of experience with Dime Piece after being you had a very successful streetwear brand for 10 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, dive right in there, girl.
Yeah, so I mean, I love this topic. I came up with this topic for this week because I love people. I love connecting with people, like in general. Like, I think that's one of my favorite things to do is connecting people like, hey, I know a person that can help you with this, or hey, I know a person that can help you with this, or hey, I love connecting people. I think that is like one of my favorite things about people. And I am such a people person. And yeah, through Dime Piece, which is the streetwear brand that I helped grow and develop for the past 12 years, it really helped me because it was very vital for connections, right? And selling merchandise and product, Chris. And selling merchandise because, your network was, our people that would buy our clothes, right? It would be like wholesalers, it'd be our online customers. So, having that good network of people and making sure that, you keep in touch with people is very vital, and making sure that you store all these connections, right? And back then when I started, the network really was social media. It was MySpace, it was Facebook wasn't even really going on yet, but it was like, MySpace. And that was really a way to, everyone really connected back then, So, getting into people's messages, like DMing people, leaving them, comments and stuff like that. So network has really been vital for me, especially through like product placement. I loved product seeding, like, when we make a t-shirt or a graphic design, and I love product seeding to celebrities or people, up and coming new artists. Like, I think that was my favorite thing about Dime Piece was, just being able to connect with people and give them free merch that had such a message. It was like about female empowerment, it was about political statements, it was about sexuality, things like that. So I was pretty brave when I outreached to my network, whether it be celebrity or to a friend or to a music artist. Like, I was brave. I took risks on, like, about reaching out to people. And I think I got so many no's, reaching out to people and things like that. I kind of got used to, getting rejected a lot. So I kept more and more even still reaching out to people and being like, hey, can I talk to you? Can I give you some free clothes? Can I, can I connect with you? Things like that. So,
Yeah, that's key points, that be fearless, like don't be afraid of no's. And I think Laura is such a good example of someone that, like, sometimes the things that like you fucking accomplish, I'm like, how did you do that? But it's because you're fearless, and you ask and you push and you do it in a way that's effective. But it's like, but you need to really just be, drop the ego. Don't be afraid of no's. Don't be afraid of like someone not responding to your email. It's okay. It's like, just kind of go for it.
yeah, exactly. Like, and also, like, building your network takes time, like, especially, if you're new to a new city, or, starting a brand or starting your own business, you kind of have to have patience, and make sure you want to plan out who you reach out to, making your network. It could be, a stylist, it could be, a colleague that has the same type of interests as you. It could be, a teacher, any of those people. Those are people part of your network. So you want to make sure you plan out who you reach out to. That's what I did. Before I reached out to people to gift them or to buy our clothing through the brand, I always made a list of people that I was interested in, and what category they fit in into my network. It could be, different things. But in the fashion world, I did organize them by, like, fashion stylists to buyers to, celebrities, talent, things like that. So I would organize them and then also write in, like, dates I contacted them, whether it be through an email, through a friend of a friend that reached out to them, giving these, like, kind of points, like, okay, I reached out to them last week, they didn't get back to me, let me reach out back to them again.
I think that that's an important note too. These are two notes I think like people should even like write down. It's like, I like what Michiko just said. Rejection is a real feeling. Resilience is key. By
Yeah.
being when people say no to you, and just kind of like being fearless in that sense. And then the second note is like within your network, using the network within your network, because
Exactly.
your friends are tied to so many amazing people and so many different pieces of like the map. So if you can touch base with them, and not be afraid, again, be fearless with them and be like, hey, like, I know, you know this person, like it would be super helpful to be connected with them, and just take that step and just try to make that move.
Yeah. And I think it's also important to check in with people, like, in your network, and or friends that you kind of grow organically with, right? Because everyone's kind of working towards something, working on building their careers, things like that. I'll talk about this more later about, your peers eventually all, if you guys are all in that kind of same trajectory of, like, hustling and growing in the industry, so people are going to be placed in higher level positions that people can give you an opportunity or a connection, so make sure that, you stay in contact with them,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep in contact with them, and you keep a good relationship.
Never burn bridges. It's like, even like the worst bosses I ever had in my life, I did not burn that bridge. I was like,
Yeah.
even though they were the worst, and I'm like, oh my god, they were the worst, I still like touch base, and I still try to like see how we can leverage each other. And it's like, unless they like murdered your dog or something, there's never a reason to like burn a bridge.
Yeah, don't burn bridges. If it's really, really necessary for you to burn a bridge, I mean, just try to, be as thoughtful and precise with why you are, not going to have them in your relationship circle anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And so, yeah, so networking, I feel like networking is so crazy now because you can really outreach to anybody now. With the pandemic, it really taught us that we are a global community, And wow, you really, really can just connect with anybody through Clubhouse, through Twitter, through Instagram DM, you know.
Yeah,
So
in Clubhouse. Let's take an opportunity really quick to just talk about Clubhouse. Clubhouse, we're going to be hosting this discussion in a different format on Clubhouse tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. PST. And Clubhouse is a new app. It's been around since last April or March. But they're now just like expanding and allowing people to enter. But you need an invite code to be able to enter into Clubhouse, which makes it super unique. And I really like that about it. But beyond that, what it is Clubhouse is a place to replace networking events and conferences. And so that's like what their way is. It's like, let's replace conferences. Like let's give people another way to network. And so there's so much network happening right now on Clubhouse. And there's just so much opportunity. So check us out on Clubhouse. If you don't have an invitation, DM us, and we have a few, and we can get you guys in.
yes, Clubhouse is going to be the new wave. I love it because it's like so, it's very unfiltered. And what I love about it is that, if you see someone that you like what they're saying, you like their outreach, you like their approach, you like what their discussion is, make sure that you contact them, screenshot. That's what I love to do when I build my network. I love to screenshot people. They usually have a contact email, whether it be their email, through their bio, or through their website, or through their LinkedIn. There is going to be a way to connect with that one person that you want to be inside of your network, right? So screenshot them, save it in your screenshot folder, in your photos. We all have that folder in our iCloud or whatever. And I go back and I look back on it, a week later, and I'm like, this is who I wanted to reach out to. This person really resonated with me. I'm going to hit them up. And that's usually how we get a lot of our podcast guests also. Either they're doctors, or they're into mushrooms, or, they're in holistic practices. Like, that's how we love to build. That's how I like to build our network.
Yeah, I love everyone's talking about Amy is saying that Clubhouse, like, she's one of the most invaluable tools she's come across. Like, she's really been able to network there, and so yeah, we're loving Clubhouse right now. So go check it out. There's even networking events happening there, like as we speak. It's like if you're in the sustainable space, like there's a little Clubhouse networking happening for that right now. So that's super cool too. And we'll be on there tomorrow, so check us out there tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
But to continue on with the discussion, Laura, you have accomplished some really amazing things within your network. I know one of the examples that you want to talk about is like the Beats by Dre, and that Apple like collaboration that you did with Timepiece. Can you tell us about fostering that relationship and then doing that event?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the network, I mean, of just the trajectory of having the brand, all over time, a lot of my friends that were starting off in the industry became influential, people in the industry, whether they're, marketing executives, or they're owning a big streetwear brand, or, certain things like that. So usually, we all started really small, and we all grew, right, within the 5 to 8 year period of in the city. So, some people were like, there were black op marketing jobs at Beats by Dre, or some people became even tour managers for Drake. So a lot of that network allowed me to, get into, I mean, I'm just going to say some just random things, but, a lot of those opportunities got me free concert tickets to, connections for brand partnerships like Beats by Dre. Shout out to Sarah. She got us a really amazing Women's Month dinner with Beats by Dre, and we got to gift like all these amazing influencers like Yes Jules, and just so many of our close friends. Kittens was there years back. And through these partnerships, it was like, these are such great opportunities, because these are like, $20,000-$30,000 events that are free, for your brand or your personal brand, because of the leverage you have, through those connections, through those opportunities. So, so basically, my network has, so many great opportunities. So, even tons of perks, tons of job opportunities, tons of references, and, and so much fun stuff, especially a lot of, experiential events.
Yes.
All those kind of awesome perks.
Yeah, so stay in contact for anyone that's at our level in their career, which is a little bit like, at this point, a bit more like a senior level, like management at some point. So it's like if you're on our level, like, just try to re-tap into the network that you had from before. But if you're just career and you're just like, you're starting off your career, you're just getting here, really stay in touch with all those people that you meet along the way. So like the people that I used to intern with, like at L'Oreal, like I stay in touch with these people because I know that it's like at some point maybe we'll find a way to collaborate in some way. We're in the same industry, we're interested in the same things. It's like there's always going to be opportunities to find potential like collaboration opportunities, partnerships, just those types of things. So that's a good note, Laura. Just, you know, follow the people that you've been working with, keep that connection.
Yeah, because everyone ends up somewhere. You know, whether it could be a real estate agent to a top chef at a restaurant that you've been trying to dine at, any of those type of connections. So the big takeaway, what I'm saying is that from this discussion is that the industry is really small. Our industry in general, whatever industry that you're in, is extremely, extremely small. So it's microscopically small. So treat everyone very respectfully. Don't talk shit, because it always comes back to you in the industry. Grow with your network, and you'll never know where someone might need your help, or you might need someone else's help.
Yeah.
Hey Sean, thanks for joining us. We're talking about how to build your network and best practices. So yeah, we have a lot to talk to. So let's get on with it, Lizzie.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So those are all great tips. Thanks so much, Laura. Yeah, so I just want to reiterate this point that I've been saying. Being a part of a network gives you access to private information, access to diverse skill sets, and power. Executives use these advantages every day because like they're always working within their network to accomplish the things that they have to accomplish.
Exactly.
I mean, like the stock market, right? It's like even they work within their network to drive up like stocks and all that stuff. So everyone's working in their network. So you want to join like the network that you're a part of and just really be active in it. So for me, like how I built my network, like I said, I've been saying every job I've had, I've kept in contact with the people that I've worked with. LinkedIn is such an invaluable tool that a lot of us don't use, but I get requests at least once a month from like different like brands that want to consider me like for a marketing consultant, like at least once a month. So LinkedIn is a tool that we should all be using. I know it kind of feels like an old kind of like whatever tool, but it's a good place to just have your resume up there updated. Have like what you've been doing and allow people to come to you, because there are a lot of like movers and shakers always for people in the industry on there.
Yeah.
So that's one of my like big keynotes is just like stay active on LinkedIn and keep it updated.
Yeah, LinkedIn, I even love like joining, Facebook groups. Facebook groups are such a great way to, find people that are also posting about, ours is the podcast, right? Conscious Kitchen podcast is our thing. So, we joined a podcast group on Facebook, and, so many people have found us through there. People that are in our network, people that are still kind of in the infancy stage of growing their podcast, or being a guest or having a new guest on your podcast. So also Facebook groups are such a great way to build your network. So don't sleep on Facebook groups, guys. That's great too. I mean, we're a digital community. Like, we're not going anywhere. Like, COVID is kind of here to stay for a few more months. Who knows, maybe a year, so we got to really utilize the online platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook groups. I love that,
Yeah,
Clubhouse. Yeah.
all these different forms, because like you said, it's not going to go back to like, for me, like last year I didn't have too much work. I didn't have like that many clients rolling in. I'm a like freelance marketing consultant, right? So it's like I usually get clients by meeting new people and by word of mouth, but the inability to meet people really made it difficult. But then I realized I was like, wait, there's so much that I'm already a part of, right? And like once I just tapped back into like my digital like connections, I was able to finally like pick up a job with someone that I've been trying to work with for like the last 3 years, and our time has never really aligned. And so now like I have like this client, and I'm getting more clients through this client, which is just like an amazing thing to do. But
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I want to talk about a little bit about how I leveraged my network to leave like my full-time job. So I had been working like full-time, like 7 to 5 or 9 to 5, whatever times, for since I graduated college. Started off with Casio. From there, I moved on to like some nonprofit stuff. I ended up here at PETA, and when I was at PETA, I really advocacy is a big part of my life, and so it was great to be able to work and advocate. But I wanted to take it a bit further. I wanted to really work with vegan brands. I wanted to work with sustainable like brands that are reaching conscious consumers. And I stopped and I looked around and I was like, wow, like right now, this is the most tapped into a network that I've ever been. One, because LA is just one of those places that everyone is doing a little bit of everything. And so I finally felt like I had the opportunity to do something freelance and to take that dive. And so I did that. And the only way I was able to succeed was by like leveraging the people that I knew in this industry. And it was like reaching out to them and letting them even know, like, hey, just want to let you know, like I left my job at PETA and I'm looking for like, you know, new opportunities, and just kind of making those connections, letting people know that you have left a prior experience or job, and letting them know that you're looking for something new, to just kind of put the feelers out there. And before you know it, somebody might connect you. And so for me, within 2 months, I was connected. You know, one of my former bosses connected me with a brand, and her and I worked for this like client, Outstanding Foods, for like a year and a half. 2 months after I left like my 9 to 5, which was, I didn't expect that, but really it's like just reiterating, reaching out to those people and having like that fearlessness of just going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Like kind of, you know, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's hard to build your network. But I like how you said, like, you know, you have to verbally state that, digitally, verbally, you know, physically, like you have to state like, hey, I'm looking to build my network. I'm looking for opportunities. It's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to mention that, you know, you're growing and you need help, you know? So maybe put that on your Instagram somewhere. Make sure that you're easy to access, like an email. There's that email option for your Instagram, your LinkedIn, any of that. So make sure that's super easy and easy for to tap in for people. So yeah, I love that, Liz. I love how you fearlessly, you know, left PETA and did your own thing to Outstanding Foods, which is cool because they were doing that chip, which was bacon, right?
So yeah, it was like they had like a vegan chip, and it was like a brand new like product that was going on the market. And it seems to be like what ends up happening with me is that I work with a lot of brands that are just starting, and that to me is like so exciting. I love working with brands that are just starting their like brand, because it's just like everything is fresh and fun. And so from there, I just kept kind of like going from client to client, and now I've been doing this for, I think this month I hit my 2 years as a freelance consultant. No, or maybe 3 years as a freelance consultant. I can't remember, 2 or 3 years. And so
Yeah.
just having like that ability to just leverage the network in that particular way.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
So
so
I love that.
we touched on LinkedIn and we touched on social media. Twitter is another amazing place to just get in contact with people that like, or just follow and see, you know, I'm kind of a stalker. Not like in a weird
Yes.
way, but in a way where it's like when I'm going to reach out to someone that I might not know, but I'm trying to build a relationship with them, I'm going to kind of stalk them a little bit to see like what they're into. Like I'm going to go to their Twitter. I'm going to be like, oh, do they like dogs? Do they like cats? Like, I don't know. Do they like hair clips? Whatever I can find out about them, so that I can, when I'm doing outreach to them and I'm text or emailing them, I can say like, hey, like have this really personal message, like, hey, I saw your article on like sustainable wedding dresses. Like I loved this particular piece about it. You go into whatever you're gonna go into. But that first paragraph, and being super personal and just giving them, like, letting them know that this is not just like a cookie cutter email. Like you're actually emailing them, you know who they are, you've been following them. They feel a little bit like closer to you if it's someone that you don't know.
I love that. Yes. With Dime Piece, I would kind of, before I product seeded, I mean, you know, Rihanna wore stuff, Miley Cyrus, all the top models wore stuff. I stalked these people low key. I was up at like 4 in the morning, you know, DMing them, finding out who their manager was, finding out who their personal assistant was, you know, and making sure that, you know, you thoughtfully see, you know, these celebrities are busy. They're, you know, they're people are dealing with thousands of other brands or people that want to connect with them, you know? So you got to make sure that you get the right lead, you know, to that person, and make sure that exactly format a proper email to them and get some personal information. Yeah, what's their dog's name? What's their cat's name? You know, here's something that could be valuable for you. This is
Yes.
why you should check out my message. Not like, hey, what's up? What's up? Like, hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on? Like, what's up? Or, you know, people don't care about that stuff. Like, you really have to be calm.
Over you. I'm like excited. But I was like, people, instead of being like, hey, I'm reaching out to you for this particular reason, give them like something a little bit like nicer. first. Give them a little bit of fluff. I'm not saying over fluff, but I'm saying like at least 2 sentences of like a nice fluff that's like will lead into like your body of your email that's going to entice them to like really read the message. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a nice little note. Drafting emails in a professional tone, creating those digital relationships, and then if you are having a friend connect you with one of their friends, maybe asking them to make the intro for you. You know, be like, oh hey, would you mind connecting me with them? Whether that's through text or through email, but that with that extra form of like that connecting tool will just give you that further like legitimacy and opportunity that they'll respond back.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't sound thirsty. That's the worst. Don't sound thirsty. Making sure that's organic. Make sure that happens organically. The vibe is right. It's respectful. And yeah, like I mentioned, offer service, offer trade. What like, hey, like, you know, um, just offer maybe some sort of trade. Like, I'd love to do this service for you. If you could like connect me with these people, like, offer a really fair trade. I think that'd be such a great, good karmic, situation in our community. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Um,
Now we're going to go into like our segment, which is just additional tips from you. So just some additional like networking tips or just leveraging. I think I'd love to know a few more tips on how do you leveraging like your friend group. It's like how do you do it in a way that, because sometimes you're nervous to ask your friends, like that they know this particular person, but you really want to connect with this person, but you're kind of nervous. So what's your best like tip for like for reaching out to a friend so that they can connect you with someone?
well, I mean, like I said, you want it to be kind of like an organic situation. I definitely think, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to get back onto you with that one, Liz. Yeah. Sorry about that. Like, yeah, I mean, I just want it to be like organic. You want it to be, you want it to be, doesn't seem like you're desperate?
Yes. Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Um,
I have a little note here on like strong networks are built on casual interactions, but through relatively high stake activities and projects, which means you want to try to lock down a project or to solidify like a relationship sometimes. And that so that you can have that, because people always talk about like, oh, we should do something together, we should collaborate, we should do this. But until you actually collaborate, they don't know what it's going to be like to collaborate with you. Is it going to be a pain in the ass? Like like some of those like when a friendship turns into like a business partnership or a business collaboration, you don't know how your friend is going to be like as like a professional like worker, right? So but it's like if you're going to handle yourself properly, that's really how you foster like good relationships and a strong network. Those casual relationships turn into high stake like projects and an opportunity to showcase what you can and can't do for like a particular brand or project.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, solidify the relationship, solidify like, a meeting point, an actual day. Don't just let the conversation fall off by, hey, we should get together. You know? Yeah, I think the best thing, like especially through even like I've been having some one-on-one like, DMs with people and they're like, hey, let's get on a call or let's thing. And sometimes the conversations fall off, if you don't follow up. But it's really good to just like, hey, what's your next weekend looking like to Thursday at 9 p.m. Making sure that you lock in, kind of you solidify those situations on top of what you mean by, solidifying the relationship, just locking in that day,
Yeah.
to get the relationship moving.
I think too the next point would be like when to follow up, right? And how to follow up. To me, I think it's always important to like if you're following up with someone, like using like the same string of email, like not just in flooding their inbox with a bunch of different messages, like really, giving them like the actual follow up so they can see, oh, when did they first email me? What did they want? What did they need? So if you're gonna follow up, following up in a timely way, not being too pushy, but following up in like in a good amount of time, just give them some space to like respond, give yourself some space to maybe like do some other projects and then follow up in the same string, be professional and just kind of keep it all streamlined.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, nowadays it's hard because some people like to talk on DM, some people like to talk on iMessage, some people like to talk on WhatsApp. Like in
That's
Spain, here everyone talks on WhatsApp, and then I usually, it's kind of hard. So you kind of have to kind of dictate like where your attention goes, and you can be all over the place, but at least, remember if it's someone you're meeting that's new,
yeah.
if they're all over the place, make sure that you save their direct email, their contact, I mean, their email, their number, and, you know, any other form of communication they have, to make sure that you save it like on a Google sheet. Google
Yeah.
Sheets are free, you know?
And ask them too. You can even like if the email's not working, maybe you could DM that, maybe them in Instagram DM them, be like, hey, I sent you an email. Like, would you prefer to chat here? Like, really just ask where does, since there are now you can text, you can email, now you can talk through here. It's maybe just asking definitively what's the best way to email you, or what's the best place to like contact you. And I know that we do that a lot when we're outreaching for our guests and for the podcast. A lot of our like initial conversations happen through IG DM, but then we transfer it to wherever they're most comfortable. So I think asking that question is a good note.
Yeah, DM is where it's at for sure. Obviously, if you're going to reach out to someone that has, you know, over 100,000 followers, you might not get a response, obviously, because they're getting flooded with random people and just everyone's just sending them messages, all these certain things. But, you know, I mean, I definitely think the best way to get a contact back is through management, through people's personal assistants. And I'll maybe leave a comment in their post. You know, hey, check your DM. I know that might sound thirsty, but maybe make it cute. Maybe add a little emoji, whatever you can, you know, just to get these people's types of attention and stuff. But do it with love, do it with an intention, and, you know, don't be so thirsty.
But then
the thirst is real.
But you want to stay
you
on.
know what?
You want to stay on people's minds though too, right? Because like because everyone's moving so fast. So if we're not staying on people's minds, then they're gonna forget that we do like this X thing. So people forget all the time that what I do is like marketing, consulting, and social media. But it's like then if I'm on people's minds all the time and I'm just like outreaching or I'm just like touching base with them, then they remember like, oh yeah, I have like this person that can help me with this particular project. So it's like when to reach out for like future partnerships too. So it's like keep yourself in their mind. But also, if you already did a partnership or a collaboration with someone, reach back out in a few months and see if you can like do something else. And when you are doing that outreach, send your entire idea already like in the email so that they're just kind of like, all right, they already know what's up. Like not just kind of like, oh, I want to do something with you. Like no, tell them like, I want to do something with you for World Vegan Day, and this is how I want to do it, and just do that outreach and see if you're able to kind of like lock in a second collaboration or a third partnership, or if they can connect you with someone else. That's like a good you know, other way to partner with them. So stay on people's minds, following up, and repitching yourself for future projects too.
Yeah, I love that too. And I think that, you know, you really take advantage of the time we have as with being in the pandemic, that, you know, there's no limitations to connect with people, you know, whether it be through Clubhouse, whether it be through a message or DM, reach out to people. If you're going to reach out to, you know, if you want to feature, like, for example, for a podcast or people that you want to talk to, a list of 10 doctors that you want to reach out to or influencers, you might get a no, but at least maybe one person out of the 10 people you reach or contact will respond. Yeah. And if the response is no, hey, at least you tried. You know, so, you know, it's a great time to network right now because people are at home, people aren't traveling and having this crazy lifestyle right now. You know, people are, you know, putting a lot of attention to where the tension is important in the community, connecting with like-minded individuals, healing, you know, introspective work, all that stuff. So it's a great time to like reach out to those people you've always wanted to reach out to, you know?
Do something that maybe you've been wanting to do. I know for Laura and I, when we were doing the podcast this season, like for last season 3, we were like, dude, everyone is home. Let's fucking reach out to our dream list of guests. Like, I don't care. You want to fucking talk to Lady Gaga? Let's email Lady Gaga. She's home. Oh, people are home. So
we got.
Yeah.
Yes. Through the pandemic, we reached out to a lot of people that might have not been, you know, available prior. So, you know, I mean, right now is still a great time to outreach to people, you know, to, you know, maybe work on a recipe with someone, maybe, you know, build a platform with someone, maybe make a song with someone, you know, it's a great time to connect. So it might not be like that next year. People might still be traveling and people might be busy again. Who knows, with the vaccine and the pandemic and COVID and stuff. So take advantage of this time you have now. Hey, Akil, thanks for joining.
Yeah, and for anyone joining, we're talking about building your network. If you guys have any tips that we haven't talked about, please drop them in the comments. Something that you think is really like a key to building your network and networking and expanding like yourself and your business.
Yeah.
Um, Little thing I wanted to chat about, Laura, was like linking projects with like skill sets. So you can also just like have an idea for a project that you really want to do and find a way to collaborate with one of like your close friends, right? So collaborating within your network to kind of, like I said, build those like experiences that you guys are really gonna like connect as like business like friends as well. So maybe like outreaching to like one of your friends, working with people that pick up like on your weaknesses so that you can do better things that you can focus on like your strengths. So if you have creativity at this moment and there are ideas and projects that you want to do that and start off with like your network of friends and just do that outreach there, and then that gives you that expertise and that like business partnership with them, that in the future if they want to do something with you, or if they have a friend they're like, well, I did this thing with Laura or Elizabeth, like maybe they'll be good for you too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. I always say, the biggest thing I take away from networking, your network is your net worth. And meaning, opportunities, financial opportunities, abundance opportunities, like all those type of opportunities happen when you vibe with someone, the vibe is there, so be aware of that.
Yeah.
I love that, Liz. That's such a good point. Pick up on your weaknesses, and so you can do things better.
Right. Yes. Yeah. You have to be super aware of like what are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? Like, am I super organized? Then let me bring on someone that is super organized to help me with this particular project. And so, yeah, just building those relationships. So, but we have a friend here named Kara here that she wants to learn how to like build her network. I'd love to know if she has any particular questions or if anyone has any questions to answer on like your particular story or your specific like project. If
Yeah,
not,
let us know.
If not, then Laura can just jump into building your network in Spain and like moving to a new place and how you've been doing that.
Yeah. So building my network of friends and colleagues in Los Angeles, where I grew up, was extremely painful to leave. Those connections, those people that I vibed with, people I built with, that was extremely painful. But after the past 2 years since I moved here, I moved to Madrid in 2019. It's 2021 now. It really challenged me. I mean, really extremely hard. Just it was such a challenge, like in a new language, knew
Mhm.
nobody. It was super tricky. So I didn't know anyone besides like maybe my boyfriend's friends. So the best way that I did build my Instagram was through my network was through Instagram. I mean, I literally did the most crazy things. Like I looked at tagged places, like pin locations to like hashtags, and checking out some influencers that kind of had similar ideals as me. I was looking at hashtags of like veganism, art, cool popular locations that I might be into in Madrid, like cafe shops or like millennial locations. Like I was like on it, okay, stalker mode. And everyone is like that. If you're not like that, then I don't know. So Instagram was really useful for me to discover people. And, through Instagram, I just DM'd people. I was like, hey, like, I see that you're into our friend Patricia here. Like, our friend Patricia, she's an amazing poet. I was like, hey, I see that you're into veganism. Like, I saw that you were at the vegan conference. Like, I'd love to take you out for lunch. And, I was like, yeah, I'd love to take you out for lunch. So we met up this really cool vegan restaurant. And through Patricia, I met her sister Nasita, who is an amazing artist here also. And I'm really good friends with Nasita now. And Nasita is like a good friend that we confide in. I can confide in. We talk. We're talking about fun art plans, like things like that. So you know, um, that was really helpful for me. Instagram was such a tool, and I think that thank God for Instagram. Literally, sometimes it could be a curse, but I mean, to meet great friends,
Yeah,
Instagram was great.
for sure. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's a specific thing that you do, which is like that sort of research when it comes to like looking at hashtags or like what are the people like you within like the network that you want to enter, what are they doing and where are they going, right? So it's like that gave you such a easy way to tap into the people that have similar interests, but who are there in Spain.
Yeah, and I also like I created a media kit like for myself. Like, I created a media kit in Espanol, and I would send my media kit to like PR companies that, they gifted people a bunch of stuff. They did activation events. I sent my media kit in Espanol, and I even sent my media kit to some online distributors that sell like cool brands like Carhartt and Kangol and stuff like that, which was my friend Carlos. And Carlos now is such a good friend to me and Russ now, and we see him like every week, like vibing, talk about music, like things like that. And so things like that, people just click, and you kind of have to just hone in on that vibe with people. That when you click, it's just that that you guys have been friends in a past life, or you'll be good friends in the future, so you got to just hold on to that.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah.
Like your media deck, like can you give us like some your media deck is on your website, right? So we could like reference it.
Yeah, my media kit is on laurafama.com/my story. And it's very easy to, can you hear me, Liz?
Yes, I can hear you.
So my media kit is available in English and Espanol. Yeah, it's available on there. So if people want to download a headshot of me, also if I'm doing any speaking events or taking over anybody's live, you can download that information there. But yeah, a media kit's great. Make it one page. Talk about your stats, like your followers, maybe some cool projects you've done. What are your interests, things like that. So, but it's really interesting in Spain because I've sent out a few to a lot of agencies, and sometimes I hear back, sometimes I don't. The culture is very different here. Everyone's on their own vibe. Yeah, and I'm like a Filipino. I'm like a dark Filipino Asian American, and Spain is full of white Spanish people, and it is so hard because in Los Angeles I was filled with diversity, blacks, whites, Koreans, oh my god, Asians, like Filipinos everywhere. And now I'm here in this other country, and it's extremely like very white Spanish people. So I don't know if they'd want to work with or collaborate with a Filipino person, but hopefully I can change that in the next few years.
Yeah, for sure. Conversation of diversity and being inclusive, like open. Like I think that we should all, and you should have like more opportunities to just showcase like your work as a Filipina woman in the United States, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead. You had to ask.
I think we covered the other points. Like, unless there was anything else you wanted to add.
No, that's it for Spain.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And for me too, I think I did the same thing. Like I moved to LA not knowing anyone and really started not knowing anyone. Literally just jumped into like working at PETA, and that's like where I met a lot of people. But like sometimes you meet people that are kind of like the keys to the city, and I happened to meet a few of them, Laura being one of them. Like Laura, I feel like Zandy was another one. I feel like Chris was another one. It was like my keys to the city that like that just tapped like this crazy network of people that I was able to just like leverage from. So I did my connections with like moving here and just kind of like tapping into this network were a little bit different. I didn't have to do like the specific like hashtag like research and just kind of be really like defined that way. But still I was able to just kind of tap into, like you said, you kind of meet people and then you tap into like this like network of people. And so sometimes there are people that are like that, and you got to find those people and try to just like befriend them and just kind of tap into like what they have going on for them.
Yeah. And also like once you have that relationship going, I mean, a lot of people kind of like stay in touch through like Instagram feed or like your Facebook feed. And there's other ways to, keep people informed, like, start a newsletter, like if you have a brand or, you're giving out self-help or you have new products to sell, like Michiko, I know you're watching like, new products you drop, like for your face mask or something. Like there's other ways to kind of keep in touch with people, when you get an email, add them to your newsletter content database, add them to your Excel sheet, and make sure, like, if you have anything fun going on, or you want to share something that's not personal, maybe it's more business related and more professional, add it to your newsletter, and make sure those people are on your Rolodex, to make sure that they remember you, they see what's going on, and if they like what's going on, they can reshare it for you. So yeah, that's really important. On top of LinkedIn, on top of posts, on top of
Twitter, on top of all the different ways to like stay communicated with someone. Just find a way to people's minds, basically. Like whether that's like their posts or freaking commenting or following them on LinkedIn, or just finding a way to stay on people's minds is such a key to like the network. Because if people forget about you, that like you're a part of their network, and they forget about like the things that you can bring to a project that they have, that's it. You're just kind of forgotten about. So just stay on people's minds.
Yeah. And showing support, right? Showing support with your network, right? I think that's really important. Showing up to their events. I mean, obviously with COVID, no, but posting on their comments, resharing their maybe their highlight reel, or something that they've accomplished, whether it be like they've been sober for a year, I don't know, but just encourage support for people. I think that's really what people really need right now, and everyone loves to feel supported. So I think that's also a strong characteristic to have a strong relationship. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys liked all the tips that we gave and just experience and sharing all of that. Definitely let us know if you have any questions. We're going to share this on to the IGTV, so it'll be there for you guys to reference. And yeah, I want to we have like our new Conscious Kitchen stickers.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So
super awesome.
If anyone wants a few, I'll DM us your address and I'll send them to you in a little envelope.
Awesome. Yeah, season 4 is coming out. We're gonna have some amazing guests, people that study mushrooms. We have some finance, women that are, we have all kinds of cool people coming in. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast, the Conscious Kitchen Podcast. Leave us an honest review, things that we can improve, things you like about the podcast. It really helps us like get up to the ratings and be more visible on the Apple podcast, because there's so many podcasts going on right now. But yeah, we love you guys. And thank you so much.
Yes. And so check us out on Apple, Spotify, and then another little additional thing I wanted to mention, we are now collecting hot tips, and hot tips are just any type of lifestyle tip that you have for us. It could be about business, it could be about like sustainable living, whatever you want to send us, and we're collecting those to put them into our episodes at the end. And you can send those to hello.consciouskitchen@gmail.com. And if you want, you can check out our last episode and hear a hot tip from there as an example. But please send us those. We're busy planning for season 4. Me and Laura are meeting on Friday. We're going to hash out our dream list, and I know it's going to be super inspiring. So, season 4.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's keep in touch. Let's vibe together. Stay healthy. Stay mentally healthy. It's all, let's make this year better than last.
Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Next Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye,
Thank you so much.
Bye.